What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Get Technical. It's a Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday. We're going to have Tim Quast on here in a few minutes to talk about market sentiment. If you're wondering what I'm looking at my screen right now, I'm picking out an outfit for Neal. So we were talking about how both of us tend to wear similar things every day. Like I have multiple of these shirts, so don't think I'm wearing the same one every single day. But maybe it comes like from a deep rooted thing, psychological thing where, we feel safe wearing the same things, but we agreed we need to break out of our comfort zone. So I'm picking out an outfit for Neal. I think we're going to do these salmon colored shorts. They're very like Cape Cod, Nantucket. There's some from Vineyard Vines right here, which is probably like the preppiest place we could get them from. But I think we'd be fine just getting them from Old Navy or Gap. Make it a little bit more affordable. But then for the top, so I'm thinking like a seersucker button down. So let's see, men's. Go to images. Not really finding what I'm looking for. I was looking for just like a blue and white. All right, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Oh, now you can't see that. Hold on. Stop screen share screen. So we're going to go this on top right here. No, we're not going to be twinsies. This is just for Neal. I'm going to stick to my usual outfit. Oh, look, oh my God. All right. This is going to be good because this is on sale for $39.99. The shorts that we found from Gap are only $19.99. So we'll be looking at like $60 total. That's before shoes. So we got this on top. Let me pull up the bottoms again. Salmon shorts. So Neal, we got this on top, this nice seersucker. It's on sale. So nothing we're doing is going to break the wallet. Our portfolios will thank us. We got seersucker on top. And then here, let me change my screen share. These shorts on bottom.
Hold on.
So you got
You're not sharing a screen.
Oh. We got the blue and white seersucker top on top. The salmon colored shorts on the bottom. And then I'm thinking for shoes, let's just go classic. We don't need to get crazy. Classic Sperry boat shoes. Images. Yeah, just something nice like this. Oh, shoot. When I click on it, it doesn't go. So, something like this. You got those. You got the salmon shorts. And you got the blue and white button down. You'll be looking fresh.
You really think I'll look good with this?
I think we'll see.
Okay, cool. Buy it all. Use a company card.
Yeah, we should keep it like under $150, I think.
You're not going to get all that crap for under 150. No shot.
Well, if I went like off-brand, the off-brand Sperry's, found some for like $30, I think we could do it.
All right. Hey guys, my name's Neal Hamilton. Kind of your host for this show, Get Technical. With me, as always, producer AB. How many likes did we get to yesterday? And are we stalling today? Yes. This is what in the broadcast world you call stalling. Now, stalling is when there's something going on that maybe you don't want to get to. And when you have a stock market show, usually that means, and you got to talk about trading, usually when there's a bit of a sell-off, stalling comes into play. Now, how many likes did we get to yesterday?
I'm trying to find it.
Here's a sideways view. Ponytail flying. Zingers are stingy. Susan. What does that mean, Susan?
I think she means they're stingy.
I don't
with
spend money on anything.
I
do not spend money on anything. And for clothes, like Luke Luke looks like American Psycho guy. All of his shoes are used on like eBay. He buys like his dress shoes for like suit and tie events on eBay. Like pre-worn, and he's like, Neal, what you got to do is look at the bottom of the shoe, and if the leathers looks good, that's how you tell if it's a deal or not. And it's like $30 max for like some Allen Edmonds.
So yesterday we got to 119 likes. So kind of disappointing there, but I think we can do better today.
That sounds like cha-ching retirement for Neal. Luke also raises butterflies. Yeah. That sounds to me like someone bought him like a butterfly kit or something like that. Chef Rami. Talking about that. Yeah, I know I have weird sideburns. It's just how my hair grows. Yeah, it's a man bun, whatever. The ponytail looks super dumb. I'm trying to freshen it up, all right? AB's doing the clothes.
Yeah.
High stocks 420. Smoke so much weed even his stocks are high.
We're gonna get Neal looking like he's ready to pledge Alpha Tau, Beta, Sigma.
Yep. I'm a frat star.
There we go, baby. Don't want to play this guy in beer pong. Jason, he'll cut the hair. He'll cut the hair if this video gets to 2,500 likes.
Yeah, and you know what? If this video gets to 300 likes live, not the recording when you guys are eating your manwiches later, 300 likes live, yeah, I will cut my hair, no problem. I'll let you guys. I'll let you. Yeah, I'll do it live. I'll let you guys pick the haircut however you want
on the show. Okay.
Rich Kaiser man bun is so not cool. I'm not cool.
You just said manwich. I don't think I've had a sloppy Joe in probably like honestly 10 years, maybe. Like a school lunch.
That was my favorite food. Neal birthday. You show up at a Neal birthday party, sloppy Joes, and pumpkin and sweet potato pies for everybody. You be going home with a bag of sloppy Joe and some buns.
That's yummy.
All right. Yep. So SPY rejected. I told you. I said this yesterday. I was feeling kind of meh. I was not feeling strength in SPY. I'm not happy to be right about it, but we are due for a correction. Markets selling off are natural. We want that. Steven Seagal would disagree. That's right. You're damn right, Proton 73. Thank you for being the voice of reason. Thank you, Happy Muhammad. Thank you very much. You are happy, and because of your happiness, you have an abundance of love, and that's why you say nice things.
I love that guy.
I do too. Okay, so I saw Nvidia. Did someone say Nvidia?
Yeah, someone did. Manny Ayala.
We're clicking at the same time.
I know, twinsies.
Oh, I recognize you.
Nvidia is getting crushed today.
Well, everything in general is. There's going to be few stocks that have sector strength or have strength.
But I'm saying the whole sector of chip makers is down more than the relative market. So if you look at
is it XSL?
SOXX is a SOXX is a that's the one that comes to mind to me.
XSD, baby.
iShares.
We've been here before. All right, so we'll look at semiconductors and then we'll zoom down. We'll drill down into Nvidia. We're on a daily chart too, so this is not a huge this is not a massive expanse of time. Good Lord. There we go. So there's that previous all-time high that we broke out of very weakly. Bear flag. Remember, guys, this flag good, horizontal. This flag very good, downward. This flag bad. We don't like that flag. And when you get this kind of formation, which actually some of my longs have had recently, you really got to watch for that breakdown. And that's what we got. So that if you're going short, if you wanted to short chips, what you would be looking for, and even some nice scalping, although this is super spotty, would be a candle close, even if it's 10-minute below that line. And I know my chart is super messy, but I think you guys get the point. I'll do a much more clean chart on NVIDIA when we get to it, but that's not a nice looking flight to me. What about LSD? Come on. Then let's do NVIDIA now. NVIDIA, what do we say? Looking slappus toppus.
I think it's looking like halfway through Head and Shoulders to me.
Yeah, I mean, so something that we do a lot is we get real fancy with the patterns, but very simply, just look at the price action, what it's done over the days, right? It's lower on one side, lower on the other. It doesn't matter what it does in between. It's in general a top out, which we can see in other areas. So I did this. If you guys follow me on Twitter at Neal's Tweets, Neal spelled with an A. I did this with Bitcoin. If I go BTC/USD, I mapped out all the accumulation and distribution cycles that we've had. And I think this is a perfect demonstration of how you're constantly you're in one of four phases. You're either in accumulation, which is down here, which I'll do arrows. Markup, which follows accumulation. I'm putting these in order. 3, which is distribution. These are market phases. 4, markdown. And then you start back over at 1. Do ... to note that. And then we'll get out our paintbrush tool. And this big old base, what do we say? The bigger the base, the bigger the what? Let me know, chat. Let me know in chat.
Chatters, what up, YouTube?
Yo, what up, YouTube? Let me know in chat. Here, let me do it. Let me undo that. We'll do it from this side to make it cleaner. This is your markup phase, and then it entered distribution, which is the end of that. How do I do this more cleanly? Distribution. And then markdown is right there. And there's like other ones in between, but that's what those phases are. The bigger the base, the bigger the what? You guys need to, the bigger the distribution, no. The bigger the breakout, yeah, kind of.
He's not wrong.
Oh, wait, you got it. Scott with the, I forgot that artist's name. I know that artist that did that image because I used to be really into that. I got a man bun. I got to know artists that do stuff like that. The better the... I think, are any students from Benzinga Trading School here? If you're a student in Benzinga Trading School, put a 1 in chat. My sweet students. It is a bigger markup. It is a bigger markup. I love your... Yeah, Alex Gray. Yeah, Alex Gray. Certain type of person that knows that. People that listen to Tool and, yeah. Oh, hey, Jason. Oh, Jason, you're one of my precious students. You want me to cut my hair? That's not nice. George Chi, 7. I respect that number. It's just a good number. And Voodoo, I'm not going to reward that Voodoo. The bigger the alimony payments... I don't even know what that means. The bigger the base, the bigger the space. What does that mean? The more time it took to accumulate during this accumulation stage, the bigger the markup. All right. This phase right here is a micro distribution, micro accumulation that was really just a nice pullback that should have been an entry for you on Bitcoin if you didn't see it like right here, like I did. And like everyone else, like JC Peretz, everyone else that was watching that base in 2020. This little micro pullback, that's just entry. That's part of the markup situation. We go to the Wyckoff thingy. I need to make this my desktop background. Boom. During your markup phase, you get some pullbacks. All right. see if that's the one I want to use. Yeah. This cycle right here, an S. Just keep an S in your mind. Bigger the base, the bigger the space. The markup from this breakout level, which was the previous all-time high where you reached it, and then we crossed it for, I mean, y'all probably already know, but this is Bitcoin, for 229%, which, you know, in the crypto world might not seem like a lot, but I know a lot of fortunes were made during that period. All right, so there you go. Now let's go back to NVIDIA. Going back to NVIDIA. What are we thinking? Look at this. This is pretty broad. It's a pretty broad little space right here. What's that? August 18 to May 2020. Yeah, that's a big broad base. All right. And then how do you measure your price target from the base? You go to the lowest low. You measure that to the neckline. Then you add that to your neckline, which is right about here, roughly. And boom, that's support during this period of sideways trading. A long period for NVIDIA, many days. God, it's amazing how this structure works. I'll just do that again for y'all if you missed it. That line's right up there for you. There's your neckline. And that gets us where we get into more recent history. Now I just want to try something. This is for me, not for you guys. I just want to see if the pole on this giant flag, which this is, I'm being generous calling this a flag. Yes, it is. Oh my God. Is the music on?
Yeah, it's loud. Now it's loud. It wasn't.
All right. Let's go down. Let's make our candles bigger. Let's look at the weekly here on NVIDIA. We got a bull flag here. Can you see it? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see. Will the trading school content stay on YouTube? The trading school content will stay inside the trading school. That's where it lives because folks pay to be there. And that's that special good. All right, so we got a bull flag situation right here. This is the pole on the bull flag, which I'll turn. Wait, I want to change the colors on this. There we are. Here's our pole. Then we add the pole to the swing high on our bull flag, and we get our price target. Almost to the T, and I bet you I just measured that in a crappy way. I bet you if I was being more exact, it would hit this exactly. Anyways, that's your resistance. But since we know that this is the resistance level now, we're going to draw this here. But look, NVIDIA, previous resistance, now support. All right, so what I would say is if you're long NVIDIA, it would make sense to create some type of hedge. Like if you're going to stay net long, but also to add a hedge, the way that I would add a hedge in my net longs is by buying puts. If we see a breakdown past 207-ish, this general area, because you might go lower and as low as something like this, which is like 178, something like that. But there's nothing wrong with remaining a net long on NVIDIA because the story is so good. We all know the role that NVIDIA is playing in so many different industries. Pretty much anything that requires computer rendering requires an NVIDIA video or graphics card. It is integral. It has a solid place in the supply chain and in industries that are not stagnant but rapidly growing. Architecture, game development, cinema, you name it, healthcare, everything needs 3D modeling. So anyways, here we are at support. I'm looking at the weekly. So I'm not sure if you really want to, yeah, the metaverse, exactly. So the metaverse concept. I'm not sure if you're looking for a day trade, but this is, as I said, a little bit of a rounding top. I would not be surprised if we see from this high to this neckline a bit of a dip. We would need a real rally, which would be reversing what is showing itself to be about to happen, which is a rounded top coming down here. Because accumulation is followed by markups, distribution is followed by markdowns, right? So I think that a lot of people are watching for the break below 207 and a half, just about, and that you're going to get some big sellers. And then you're going to look for support around this general area. So let me, this is your demand zone. Wait, why, okay, whatever. That's your demand zone. All right, that's NVIDIA. Crypto looks like a buy, bullish. I'm in wait and see mode on NVIDIA, and let's just see how it's doing for the day. Let's go down to hourly. Let me delete everything that I've drawn here. Let's see if there's a reversal structure. So today we have a downward trend. Are we getting a reversal? The hourly, not showing it. We're seeing that we're on this support or this demand zone. Let's go down to our 10-minute. Possibly. Look at the 10-minute, guys. What do you guys see on the 10-minute on NVIDIA? What does this look like? Let me know in the chat. Frat King, SPACs attack. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the story is there.
Oh, we've just had a couple. Like we had an all access event today that took place from about 10 to 11:30. So it cut into what would usually be SPACs attack, and unfortunately tomorrow and the following day.
No, not unfortunately.
We won't be having a lot of our shows.
Dude, because we have a big mega event tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's not unfortunate. The event is not unfortunate. The event's going to be awesome, and I'm excited for it. It's just unfortunate for me that we're not doing our Oh, Nicki Minaj joined us in the chat today.
Hey, welcome back, Nikki. Good to have you.
How's your cousin doing?
Yeah, hopefully things are going down for your cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, double bottom, guys. SoFi is the time to buy. We'll get to that. Jason, absolutely correct, Jason, with a reversal. So Jason, as a trading school student, so far we've talked about trend reversals. And you know that what you can do is draw a line on the right side of the price structure. We're looking at 10 minutes, and you can see we've broken out of it with this big green candle. I'm looking at the 10-minute chart. Nice. And what are we doing? We're running into resistance right here. Previous resistance, previous support. A breakout above that, which is happening right now, is bullish. And this is a pattern. So if you're a trading school student, we're getting a little bit ahead. But everyone here knows that we're all about these things. Best pattern in the history of pattern making. One of these. A double bottom reversal is in play. So to set your price target for a double bottom reversal, you go from the lowest point, which is right here, up to the neckline, which I'm going to use this resistance instead of these high lines. I'm using this resistance because more trading happened there. And then you add it. Turn it sideways. That's where you get your target price. That's one way to do it, but also always use levels. So it's likely that you're going to hit resistance here. You're going to hit resistance here on NVIDIA. NVIDIA, if you want to day trade it with those weekly options in the money call scalping, I would not call you crazy. So there you go. NVIDIA looking good for a day trade. For a swing trade, for a position trade, it's wait and see mode for me. Would not be surprised if we at least open higher than we closed. Open higher tomorrow than we closed today. Yogi, thanks. What is the lower indicator? I have 3 indicators down here. I'll maximize this. This is the weird song. The purple line is the relative strength indicator, RSI. The bars are volume, regular old volume, and the yellow line is the average volume over the past 20 days, over the past 20 candles. Sorry, I think this is actually set just to days, no matter what, though. But that's how I know if we got above average volume, and that's what you like to see on breakouts. Although it seems a little bit messed up right now. Let me go to daily. Yeah, there it's a lot more clear. Where we've been below average volume for the past 5 trading sessions, roughly a little bit above average on September 22nd. But when you see above average volume, that's what you want to see when you're hitting that resistance to give you confidence that you break through. What do you think about shorting the VIX? I don't think about that, Nikki. Nikki, I'm not much for shorting in general. If I'm taking any short positions, it's mixed into a net long position as a way to hedge and potentially make some money in the process. An example there would be, I haven't done this over the past few months, but last summer I hedged my QQQ position with puts on QQQ, and it worked out just fine. Worked out great. And that's generally what options are used for, is for insurance against losses. But generally I wouldn't mess with any type of short. I'm more of just wait for my long setups. That's my personal style. And statistically, stocks tend to go up more frequently than they tend to go down. Mac, do I do harmonic patterns? Nope. I've studied them and I've applied them, and have found them to be too laborious and uninteresting for me. And that just sticking to the sort of basics that I go about on the show, which is just levels, volume, price structure, Fibonacci levels. Those are pretty much all I use. I think this sort of less is better approach is where I like to be. I'm a student of the All-Star Charts. What's his damn name? JC Peretz. JC Peretz School of Thought. You don't see him putting harmonics on his chart. Fibonacci, though. Fibonacci. I don't know why I'm really comparing the two, other than they're not purely based on price, but rather a sort of vague interpretation of what naturally happens and doesn't have like a really coherent empirical definition. Fibonacci is the one that I apply because look, swing high, swing low, QQQ. Look at how it's lining up with these levels perfectly. That's why I use Fibonacci. It's quick and easy. Harmonics, not really interested. Okay, so we do have a special guest here. Have you guys heard of Tim Quast? Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys are familiar with Market Structure Edge and Mr. Tim Quast.
I was saying today, I think, is like the perfect day to have Tim on to talk about market sentiment overall, as we've seen, just a broad dip in SPY, and as well as some of these other big names that we can find on Market Structure Edge. So, Neal, what do you say? Without further ado, should we welcome Tim on the show?
I think so. Let's bring him out. We got a ton of ones in here. Y'all been knowing Tim Quast. Oh, we clicked it at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got to stop doing that. Hey, Tim. Oh, can you hear him?
I cannot. Tim?
Yep, I think mic selection. But guys, that's Tim. That's Tim Quast from Market Structure Edge. It's a microphone.
Oh, now we got you on mute. Let's see. So Tim, I would just go into
Tim, I think you muted yourself.
Hey, Let me. Okay, so we're back. We're good.
We can hear you, but I don't think your microphone's not selected, so it doesn't sound great. But if this is what we can run with this.
Let's try this. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to.
And guys, just a
Hear
reminder.
me?
Yes.
Okay, so that should be better. I don't know what.
Oh my God, you sound a million times better. You just went from like 1950 to 2019 really quick.
Well, that's good news. Sorry about that. So it's Neal, I can see your ears. I haven't seen your ears in a long time. Is this a major change?
It's it's really weird for me. There are a lot of sounds that I'm hearing, and I'm not sure if I like it. I think I might go back, cover them back up.
Well, you could be responsible for this pullback in the markets. You can't do something like that willy-nilly. Just change your hair. That's the kind of thing that can destabilize financial systems.
He's got a point, Neal.
There was a 1% drop on SPY when I shaved my beard. Oh man.
There you go. We internally, one of our team, Brian, every time he goes on vacation, the dollar plunges in value. So we all short the dollar just before he goes on vacation. This could be the same thing. So the next time you're going to change your hair or shave, let us know, would you?
So yeah, I will. Let me know if you want to make an oscillator for that. I'd be happy to help out.
Right. Well, sorry about the shadows. I'm sitting outside just off the 10th green there, just outside of Austin, and it is balmy would be a euphemism for the temperature outside today, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful city, beautiful background.
Yes,
Tim, thinking about it in the chat, just wants to make sure you're, keeping your head on a swivel, watching out for maybe stray golf balls.
Right. We don't
want to see anything happen to you on stream.
If you see, there looks like a trio right at the green right now. So if you see something coming, holler, would you?
Okay, give you a heads up.
But
if I say heads up, it means duck. Okay.
Yeah, say four. Say four instead.
Right.
4, yeah. Okay.
Shout 4. So I wish somebody had shout. Actually, we shouted 4. We did shout 4 about the market last week, and we talked about this. So it's a nice segue there. We did this actually with the pre-market prep show yesterday. I said that tomorrow. I said Monday that tomorrow, Tuesday, that would be today, could be potentially very challenging, particularly for tech stocks. And the reason is this is the stuff that never gets talked about. This is market structure, and I appreciate you mentioning that, Neal. Market structure it could be as simple as the mechanics of the market. I think of it as the behavior of money behind price and volume, and it doesn't get enough attention. So the market goes down, and then everybody said, well, it's Jay Powell testifying to Congress, or it's this thing, or it's that thing. If you pay attention to market structure, traders, the reason we do this is so that we both make money and don't lose money. If you can do those two things in combination repeatedly, that's how you become wealthy. If you do only one of them, you won't. It's right. You have to do both, right? So the reason that this is happening today is it's T+2 to the end of the quarter. So that is the trade day +2. That is now the settlement window. And remarkably, you'd be surprised how little volume in the stock market actually results in a change of ownership. Settlement change, that's what we call it. It's one of the things that we pay a lot of attention to. About 5% of trading volume results in a change of ownership. Right, but when it happens, it can be very impactful. And so if you're BlackRock, and you have found, because over the last month there's been a lot of volatility in the market, over half of the S&P 500 heading into Friday was already down 10% or more, believe it or not, even though the broad measure was basically up for the quarter, flat for the month at that point. Well, if you're trying to track the S&P 500 or some other benchmark, there are 3 million global index products. By the end of the quarter, you can get in big trouble if you're not. And so if you're going to true things up coming out of a very volatile period, by the way, the small caps, the Russell 2000, 90% of the Russell 2000 is down more than 10%. So the trouble with that is it's only about 5% of overall market cap. And again, traders, if you're zoning out and going, well, this doesn't matter to me. Oh, yes, it does. If you care about making money, listen to what I'm saying here. Okay. So when BlackRock wants to move a bunch of money and make sure that it's square by the end of the quarter, it's going to do it today. So that if there are outliers, things that are difficult to trade, they've got additional 2 days to make sure that that position gets squared. And so that's why it's not, there's a particular reason why today is difficult rather than yesterday or last Friday. So that, context matters. And so you can know this stuff. This is what Market Structure Edge is about. They don't have to be everything that you think about, but you should always pay attention to your surroundings. What is going on? Is it around options expirations? Is it coming into month end? Is it a quarter end where it could be even more significant? Well, that's why I sold my, I sold my blue chip stuff yesterday. I sold my tech on Friday. It's because the prudent foresee evil and hide themselves. Then you can skip around this area of difficulty and come back, because it really doesn't matter what the price of things is. All that matters is the price at which you bought it and whether it's higher when you sell it. That's all that matters. All right. So that's what we want to keep in mind. This is what's occurring now. It's been a period of volatility. Large money that has to true up its tracking relative to benchmarks is doing so. It's not trying to beat the benchmark. What I mean by this is if something goes down 10%, it causes tracking errors for me as an index manager. That is what I hate. I loathe things that screw up my tracking, and I will get rid of them. And so then it compounds into month end. Then new money comes back in the first part of the next quarter. If money is going to come back, that's when it comes back. Well, that's a good thing to know, traders. That was a long-winded explanation.
Well, I think the prudent among us are wondering if there's evil coming tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So you said we were at a 4 yesterday. What are you seeing today in your Market Structure Edge indicators?
Right. And it's, I say,
and you're not sharing your screen if you're trying to.
Okay, I'm going to do that because I think it'll be helpful if I do this. And so those of you who don't know Market Structure Edge, by the way, you can try it for free. Name an email. If you haven't tried it, go ahead. There's no obligation. You don't have to put a credit card in. If it's not right for you, that's fine. Market structure affects everybody. It's the great equalizer, but not everybody likes it. I can tell you from 17 years of providing market structure analytics to public companies that not everybody likes it, but it is wildly relevant to how the market works today. So long bottom would be a great name for a rock band. And it's what we've and it's what we've had here in sentiment too. So that broad market sentiment, this is what we call easy step number 5, manage overall risk. Well, how would you do that? Well, you want to know when short term, is the market likely to fall or is it likely to rise? And that can help you figure out whether you should be more or less exposed to it. That's how I think about it. So this smooth line is sentiment. That's the beautiful thing about sentiment. It's not all jagged like the price of SPY. SPY gyrates all over the place. So if you're trying to use price to figure out what the market is going to do, it borders on a fool's errand. It does. It's very difficult to know what price is going to do from one day to the next. So sentiment is much better. Sentiment is a better way to understand supply and demand. And notice there's a red line and a green line. The market tends to trade between the red line and the green line. And when it gets near the red line, the market has a greater proclivity to decline. It's not perfect. It's not a metronome because things happen. But then nearer to the green line, then we know the time will come where the market will turn up. So notice where it is. So you want to be out back here at the peak. It's good to be out. And then you just wait for this line to go up. Then you could say, well, what about here? Well, we could trade some stuff. I did. I traded Fortinet, some other things. They're Discovery B shares, stuff you can trade short term. But I'm not going to put all my money in the market when those conditions exist. So this is a long bottom. It's a 4.2, 4.2, 4.2, 4.2. And when the market gyrates, but sentiment doesn't change, it tells us that the underlying demand is pretty weak. These conditions can, I'm not saying they will, can produce a correction in the markets. And it's because demand is weak. If it doesn't pick up as we start Q4, then the math would say that the market will probably go down further. And so you want to be aware of that. I like to buy rising sentiment in anything, in a stock, in a sector, in a portfolio, in the broad market, by rising demand, because there's a much higher probability that you will produce gains. If the demand is right at bottom and it's not moving yet, well, that's not great, right? If it's below 5, if you consider demand to be a 10-point scale, and the longer the things spend above 5, the better they tend to do. The stocks that are the best performers in the market, Marin Software. Look, it's a very risky stock to trade, but it spends a lot of time above 10. That stuff counts. Moderna spends a lot of time at 10, above 5. Between 5 and 10, that's where all the gains are, because it will tell us that demand exceeds supply. If the market is going to hang down here below 5, we're going to have trouble. And what it is telling us is the stuff that we can't see. What is the big institutional money doing? Well, we can observe fund flows and that sort of thing, but it's more challenging with exchange traded funds because they substitute back and forth. So it's harder to use that as a good gauge for what the money's doing. This is a very simple gauge. The sentiment is below 5. Look, we should be careful. And that's where it is. Uh-oh, did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
There you are. I can hear you.
Okay, we're back.
Did I lose you for a bit?
Yes, I lost myself there for a bit. Any questions, guys, about market structure edge, or about these concepts, or even just the definition of market structure? Because I had a different idea of what market structure was before I met Tim like a year ago. And since then, it's never left me. I'm always thinking about that. So this is one of those really cool, I mean, it's not just like an indicator, it's a whole damn platform that actually introduces an entire concept, a completely different way of looking at things. So I know that there are a lot of market structure edge users that view Benzinga shows. Any questions, guys? Or some tickers? We can also take some tickers, because I know that a lot of folks would be interested, because I wonder if there are some winners or any runners in these times. And then Proton, I'm not totally sure I understand the context of the question, but maybe Tim will. Tim, Proton73 is asking why SPY versus using IWM.
So SPY is the oldest, largest exchange traded fund, a great proxy for the S&P 500. That's why we use it. It's that simple. And IWM, Russell 2000, right? Russell 2000 is 5% of market cap, whereas the S&P 500 is about 85%. And so we want the best proxy for the market that we can get. That's it.
There you go. Let's take a look. Okay, this will. Do you want to look at? I shouldn't laugh, but this is just the point, and we are in society. But Tesla.
Yeah, we absolutely can. By the way, on my screen is one that I noted for edge users last week. I said, look, this is a very high risk kind of trade, but if you want to understand what creates a meme stock kind of condition, here's an example. And so I said, if you want to buy rising demand, and if you see a surge in supply, this is short volume. What this tells us is that brokers are creating stock to fill retail trades. Well, that's what creates a meme stock situation. And that stock's up, I don't know, it went from 50 to 70 in 3 days. So I try to find those using data. If there are opportunities like that, we will make sure to tell you about those. So let's look at Tesla. Tesla has been, has had those characteristics at various times. And so again, you want to buy rising demand. And if demand drops below 5, then you leave. So here's Tesla in the last 30 days. I like to look at a longer period of time, but once again, look how beautiful this is. So if you buy rising demand and supply that is below trend, what is the price likely to do? It's likely to rise. And I will often, here's probably where I leave. So when demand begins to fall below, begins to decline. Now I know the demand's weak. It's still above 5. You could stay. It's, I like to go find something else to do. And look, clearly, Tesla continued to rise. And short volume rises above the trend. That tells me that supply and demand are beginning to equalize. And that will, it did produce some pressure for Tesla. Then look at the supply. The supply side fell back below trend, and demand stayed steady. Well, that will produce additional gains most times. Even now, there will be some volatility because it will be subject to the same quarter end conditions that everything else is. It's a heavily held stock in exchange traded funds and indexes. It's remarkable in that regard. But this tells us so long as it's above 5, it's likely to do well. When it falls below 5, that's where the volatility becomes worse and it gets more challenging. It's a very simple principle. Buy demand, sell supply.
Love it. Very simple. And then we got Proton said, thank you. You finally make sense now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be boiled down to such simple terms. CHPT from Benz's World.
Okay. Let's see here. Charge point. Okay, I don't know charge point very well. So here's what I want to do. I want to expand this back. I like profiler default, by the way, is 90 trading days. It's a great way to think about things because you'll go through a quad witching period and a quarterly index rebalance, and so it's a good way to think about it. And you can see the trouble here. So long as CHPT was above 5, see back here. It did great. And so as soon as demand begins to deteriorate and supply rises above trend, leave. And then, can you come back? Well, here's a great example of why we avoid options expirations. If there's going to be a period where the data are less trustworthy, it's going to be at options expirations. And that's right where this was because people change their bets. So I always portage around those. So even if sentiment rose and both the demand and supply side look good, just remember context. Your surroundings, they matter. Wait. And so we haven't had great conditions. It has risen back above 5 briefly, but really since options expirations, the supply side is high and the demand side is weak. Those are not great conditions. And we want to just stay away so long as that supply trend continues to rise. Over 50% of CHPT volume trading daily is coming from borrowed stock, manufactured stock. So if demand is weak, as we can see up here, and supply is high, the price is going to go down. And until those conditions change, just wait. And it might not be till we get past September options expirations, or October options expirations. Then let's look at it again.
Can we look at DATS?
Let's see if we can. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I'm getting old, and B, this light isn't good out here, so I can't see. I don't. What
you got it? You got it. You typed it right.
So, so if I don't find it there, so our data set will. So we have an IPO feed that updates every day, but it's very Russell 3000 centric. So there can be reasons why we don't have a stock. It could be its float. It could be its domicile, those sorts of things. I can check to see if we can add it. But if we don't have one, that's why. The rules that we rely on are about regulation national market system. So there's a national market system set of stocks that is really about 3,400 companies. There can be multiple classes of stock. There are about 400 closed-end funds. There are 2,000 exchange-traded funds, a little more than that. But we're about those equities that comprise the national market system. I'm sorry, Neil, I don't see that one, so I'll check. I'll ask the team to check that.
All good. We've got a bunch in here. Do you have Naked?
Oh, I'm sure we do. I would think, anyway.
NAKD is going to be the ticker on that one.
I thought if the name came up because that's. Maybe we don't. Man, that might be too small. That might be just outside that Russell 3000 read. It's possible. Again, I know that the traders tend to like those small ones. I'll check.
What about COP?
Oh yes, that's big energy company.
Let's go.
My wife worked for ConocoPhillips Duke Energy for 20 years.
Oh, really?
That's related. She's the M&A and investor relations. Yeah. So these are, she knows the energy business very well. Okay. So here, there's good and bad, right? So the good side clearly is look at the demand side of COP. Energy's been great. And you can see that demand above 5 all across the top here. And now it's a 10. And the supply side, well, the trend is not great. The trend is heading towards 60%. It's below trend. So as long as those conditions persist, COP is likely to do well. If we expand out 90 days, once again, you can see that that's a fairly recent development. It's basically in September. This is where the conditions really improved for COP. And this is where when you say, well, what is this when demand jumps way up and so does the supply side? This is a little known part of market structure. It is the manufacturing of stock to fill trades. This is what creates meme stocks. It's because market makers, Neal, you and I have talked about this frequently, and I repeat it because repetition is the best form of emphasis. And
you're supposed to say that twice when you say
right. So the way that meme stocks work, stocks like GameStop and AMC Theaters and so on, why did they go way up? Well, because brokers are required to create a continuous auction market. If I want to buy or sell 100 shares of something, the law requires that process be fulfilled, and brokers are exempt from having to locate shares to borrow in order to do that. So if there is a demand imbalance, particularly from retail money, that's how it manifests. That's what I pointed out with Cassava Biosciences. When we see that, we know that there's likely to be a surge, and that's what happened here with COP. And you can find that kind of thing. What else you got?
Beautiful. GTE.
GTE. I might have to type that. Find part of it.
Let's try.
What's the name?
I don't. All I got is the ticker.
Ticker. Yeah.
So okay. So actually, we were charting NVIDIA earlier, and DJ said is asking for NVIDIA. So let's see what it looks like in Market Structure Edge.
Yeah, so here's one of the things that we talked about happening right at options expirations in September. This was that quad witch. So when stock and index options and futures expire, and there were quarterly index rebalances, and we saw weak flows. And I said if the flows from passive money are weak, probably tech doesn't do well. Why? Because tech is such a large part of the market. Well, we're going to be able to see those things, and here you can see it. So where was the time to leave? About here. If demand has peaked and hit 10 and begins to come down, then you go down and you check the supply side and it's above trend. You can say, well, there's a bunch of covering there. Yeah, but it just never picked up steam again. The demand side never rose back above 5 by rising demand, not falling demand. And so you say, well, the price went up. Yeah, but that's dangerous. So if the supply side, and Neal, you and I talked about this about a week ago, I tweeted and said, oh, wait, it was a 5. If it ticks up, I'll take it. If it ticks down, I'm not. And here's exactly the case. So the supply, short volume, is rising. The demand is very weak. And so those conditions tend not to produce gains. In fact, they produce declines. You want to wait for those things to reverse.
There you go. Let's get Fubo, and welcome to the chat, Captain Cappy.
I know we have this. There it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, this is the definition of misery from a trading perspective, right? It's demand is absolutely on the floor, and supply is trending up, and it's fully half of the trading volume. See this over here? So, well, it's 49.9%. Yeah, it's half. 50% of the trading volume is coming from borrowed stock, and sentiment is 1 out of 10. So, if you want to know when to buy this, you want to see this improve dramatically and this decrease. Demand rises, supply falls. That's simple. And you can create an alert to tell you that. If we want to go profile it and say, let's go check to say, when is the best time to buy this? Well, it will default to looking at 5.5. Not great. You lose money buying 5.5. Why? Well, it spends a lot of time above 5. So probably we might want to buy the uptick. If the uptick, there you go. So if you bought and held it for 90 days, you could generate a 25% return. If you bought just the uptick and sold it when it returned to 5 in 65 days, you could beat that. I will very rarely going to stay in something 65 days, but you could reduce a 28% return. Well, there you go. So now you want an alert to tell you when that condition happens. And we'll check our exit later. It's defaulting to exiting at the return to 5. Maybe we exit at 10. Maybe we exit when it's gone up 12%. That's often what I do. I just want to know the entry. Okay, so I know now that buying the uptick is a pretty good idea. It's, there's some risk in it. It doesn't perform great. I'm looking at the trading periods here. There's definitely risk in it. A lot of those returns came in one fell swoop, but I can create an alert here to tell me when those conditions exist. And now I don't have to worry about it. Right? I'll just wait for those conditions to return.
All right, we've got a question in the chat about Market Structure Edge. When you sign up for Market Structure Edge, what kind of training is there on how to use the information?
Great question. So we use video a lot. You'll see my face a lot. Unfortunately, that's the downside. But we take you through the 5 easy steps, and we do that in a series of emails that you get. And we'll walk you through how to use the platform. I answer every email. Send me an email, tq@marketstructureedge.com. We have a great online support team led by Henry, our head of client support. And he's great. He uses the platform. He's an excellent day trader, so he understands what he's doing and what he's talking about. You can ask a question at any point. I do a live demo every Thursday. And those are very easy to sign up for. Just click on the logo on the upper left and say request a demo, and you can see when I'll do that next. So we try to help you use it. It does. I will say that market structure, Neal, you'll confirm this, it's a shift in thinking. It's not how we have traditionally been taught to think about the market, but the market underwent significant change starting in 2007. And so we have to keep up as traders. We can't expect it to behave like it's 1995. And so we'll help teach you.
Excellent. And I do totally agree. It's a total shift in thinking. And the more that I come to understand it from talking with you, Tim, a necessary part of what's going on to understand and to be aware of as we trade and invest. So, Tim, thank you very, very much for joining us today from Austin, Texas. All right. So, folks, you guys, you've got the URL. It is great to see you, Tim. Everyone get on over to Market Structure Edge right now and get that free trial if you haven't gotten it already. Tim, great to see you. And thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Good to see you too. Thank you, Neal.
All right. See ya. All right, we clicked it at the same time, AB. Incredible. All right, so there you are, AB. Thank you for producing. What's up next? Can you guys hear him?
What was that?
What's up next?
We have the roadmap, which is Benzinga's very own NFT show. So if you're interested in what's going on in the wide world of NFTs, stick around. This stream will automatically redirect you to the roadmap. And yeah, without further ado, let's see if we can get 50 more likes on this video real quick.
How many likes did I say for a haircut? 300 likes. I cut my hair on stream.
And it says that there's, about 280 people watching, but if you're like me and have multiple Google accounts, you can like the stream more than once. So, there is a chance we get up to 300 in the next 5 minutes before this show ends. Let's see. I'm going to go through and like it. Okay, let's see. My mom's account liked.
Wait, can you guys? No mic. What are you talking about? All right, I don't want to belabor the point, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Tuesday edition of Get Technical. Tomorrow we've got the BZ. I made a weird sound when I said that. We've got the BZ healthcare event. So get on over to bzsmallcap.com. Do it right now. Follow me. Type it in your little Chromebook on your little Android device, or whatever you're watching on. Get on to the Healthcare Small Cap Conference so you can hear from... I know you guys love these healthcare stocks. Get on over there and register for that event. It is free, and it is starting tomorrow.
$3.99. What a deal.
Cut it all off. No. Not all of it. Let's try. All right, guys. I'm Neal Hamilton. Follow me on Twitter @Neal's Tweets. This has been Get Technical. Producer AB in the house. looking good as always with that black polo. Make sure you get one on benzingaswag.com or something like that. Whatever.
Swag.benzinga.com. My Twitter is Aaron Bree, the number 5. Lots of good info there if you want to check that out. We are at let's see, 122 likes, so 28 more likes for Spice Girls.
Oh my god. I think they lost it. I think they had it and they lost it.
I think the Spice Girls might not be alive in the closet any.
Spice Girls. Dude, the Spice Girls might be dead in our server room, guys. And we need you to get this video we need you to get this video to 150 likes so we can find out. Because there's one of two things that can happen here, guys.
Just quick programming note. As Neal mentioned, we've got our big healthcare conference the next 2 days. Register for free. You'll be entered to win a full year of Benzinga Pro, which is a $1,500 value. So no reason not to. Completely free. And on Friday, we, I believe, will not be having a show as well due to a Benzinga quarterly meeting.
Oh, yeah. Kind of forgot we're doing that.
Yeah, which Neal will be headlining. I think he's playing a guitar tune at the quarterly meeting, so I don't know if he will have time to...
Every quarter I do it.
Grace our presence on Get Technical.
I'll bless you. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. This is Get Technical. Make sure you go to bzsmallcap.com. Have I been feeding them the Spice Girls? Yeah, they get the macaroni and cheese lean cuisines. Bert brings them in.
Yeah, that's Bert's job.
All right. Happy trading, everyone.
Peace and love. See you next week.